Is everybody here? All right then. Spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York, New York. Yes, these vagabond shoes are longing to stray and step around the heart of it. New York, New York.
These guys aren't bad.
Dude, I'm gonna sneeze. 1 second. Wait, here it comes. Wait. Why? But I just didn't have to sneeze until the stream started. I didn't sneeze all day. What the fuck? Oh. Okay. So, I'm gonna turn the game audio on, but I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I've got a couple of videos that I want to listen. We've got one here that's the Taliesin Evitel Weekly Reset, where they talk about player housing changes, old content becomes relevant because of player housing changes, all that sort of stuff. And then Dalaran Gaming talks about off-meta class variations. I want to check out one little variance of existing builds that are not just like Arms Warrior, follow this build. Elemental Shamans, follow this build. I want to see what the weird... The first one we're going to watch is going to be the Taliesin and Evitel video. If anyone is interested.
Video is sponsored by Squarespace.
What if I do
Hello
this?
Internet, Taliesin here, and today we are talking player housing, and specifically we are talking decor and how it will interact with professions, achievements, and other gameplay, all detailed in the new Blizzard Blue post that came out at the end of this week. Pretty much as late as it could possibly have come out at the end of this week, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And I'm not going to bury the lead on this one, okay? Because the reason this is worth making a whole video on is because it's good. It's very good. When the first housing post a couple of months ago told us that housing would work in a neighborhood system, it was like, oh wow, not what I was expecting, but that's a lot of interesting potential there, okay. And then a month later, when the decor placement and interior design post came out, it was like, oh wow, this is way better than I think anyone expected. I think this is when players started to take player housing seriously as a feature, because what was on show here really embodied the absolute best case scenario. And this latest reveal and what it tells us about professions and collections is right up there too, in being an almost best case scenario minus just one little thing. But there is still plenty to get excited and relieved about here. So
I think the one little thing he's going to be mad about is that you have to have multiple versions of your furniture for every house. So like if you want to have a 4-chair set in your house, you need to have one 4-chair set for each house. So you need 12 of that chair total. I think that's what he's going to say is not good.
Join us as we talk WoW player housing, decor, collections, and professions. Okay, go. So we've seen how you decorate the interior of your home. This post explains to us the philosophy behind how we get all that stuff to decorate with. The usual caveat that this is a work in progress and could change at any time, but the basics is this. Decor items will come from numerous different sources. In fact, just about as many sources as there are ways to play the game. Straight buying from a vendor with certain reputation requirements. Crafting with professions, buying from the auction house from players that have crafted them with professions, but also from solo questing, dungeons, raids, and achievement rewards. They don't mention the trading post or the online cash shop for that matter, but you know, they don't really have to mention the cash shop, do they? And we'll look at some examples of those different sources in just a moment, but what I want to say straight off the bat is, yes, Good. This is exactly the correct approach in that it's very easy to compare Decor Collection to Mount or Transmog Collection. So if you really care about transmogs and mounts, you can go out of your way to collect them, even the really obnoxious to get ones. And then you're going to have a vast collection of incredible items, many of which are very rare and hard to get, and which will be the envy of all your friends. But even if you don't care about mounts and transmogs and never set out to get any at all, you probably still have a pretty good collection. A whole ton of different looks and options to choose from. You probably still have 1 or 2 absolute rare gems in there, almost by accident because you play the game a lot. For example, I have never done a pet battle in my entire life. I watched a Hazel stream once and she was doing a pet battle and I literally thought she was playing a different game because I'd never seen a pet battle UI before. I still have 526 battle pets in my collection. And so that's what it looks like Blizz are going for here with Decor 2. Loads of stuff that is difficult or time-consuming to get and that you'll have to go out of your way to get. But alongside that, a huge range of stuff that everyone will find they have access to right from the start. Blizzard separate Decor into 3 main tiers to show this. Tier 1 is commodities. And these are your basic things like wooden chairs or tables or bookcases. The things you'd expect to be part of any player housing system. And it sounds like there will be an extensive range of these available from day one to buy from vendors or crafters. It's worth noting here that every item that exists in your house is individual. If you want 4 of the same chair around the table, you have to buy or craft 4 of those chairs, and every single one of those chairs will be stored in your account-wide house chest, which can be accessed by any of your characters, but they are all still individual items. So if you have 4 chairs in your house chest and your Nightborn mage puts 3 of them in her house, even though she lives alone and never invites anyone round, then there will only be 1 chair left in your house chest when your human paladin, who has loads of friends, comes to decorate his house. Blizzard show a visual example in the post. We see Captain Lacey, the Stormwind quartermaster who exists in the game right now, selling her usual cloaks and tabards, and this isn't important, okay, but who has been standing at a really weird angle for like the last 20 years. Like seriously, Lacey, just take 1 step forward or backward. Let that poor 3-poly horse stand on even ground, please. Anyway, yeah, Lacey is selling the Stormwind Hall rug at a very reasonable 142 gold. But you need to be revered with Stormwind to buy it. So a very low gold cost, but with a reputation requirement attached. And I would imagine there are going to be tons of NPCs in the game, just like Lacey, who on the day player housing goes live, suddenly find themselves with a housing decor item in their inventory that they can sell you. And yeah, I'm sure we're all revered with Stormwind, but there might be some legacy reputations that you do need to bump up a little bit to buy stuff too. I'm assuming
Timbermaw. Let me look at my legacy reps. What are the ones that I have low reputation? Classic. Hated by the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Hated by Brood of Nose Dormu. Hated by the Syndicate. Alright, fuck those guys. Hydraxian Waterlord. Oh god. Cenarian Circle. Thorium Brotherhood. Lord. The Dark Talons? I don't even remember what you guys are. Yeah, oh, it's the new... Okay, it's the Horde racial faction. Alright. Frost... Wolf Clan, oh god, Warsong, oh god, there's PvP? Oh god, I forgot there's PvP faction reps.
Is this standard floor? That seems the most likely, and again,
wait, no, go back. What
your collection will have a leg up, and all those existing classic assets right from this on the day player housing goes live, suddenly find themselves with a housing decor item in their inventory that they can sell you. And yeah, I'm sure we're all revered with Stormwind, but there might be some legacy reputations that you do need to bump up a little bit to buy stuff too. I'm assuming the rug in question is this standard floor rug that you see all across Stormwind, which shows you just how willing Blizzard are to tap into all those existing classic assets right from the start, which is correct. That's exactly what they should do. Is it possible that a different NPC in Stormwind sells the red version, or the bear version, or the inn version? Is there going to be a crazy time when player housing launches of people running around discovering decor items that have been added to completely random NPCs all across the old world? Well, I hope so. That sounds really cool and fun. Although maybe very annoying too. Don't forget, I have to buy one individual rug for every rug that I use in every one of my characters' houses. If one day I turn around and I've used up all my rugs or all my bookcases that I bought from Bob the Farmer in Elwyn or whatever, suddenly that decentralization of vendors all over the place is going to get old very, very quickly. And if that's the case, it's probably going to encourage players to buy huge amounts of every item every time they visit each individual vendor, just in case. It's not just vendors though. Blizzard give questing as another example of how you'll get hold of commodity items. They mention, for example, getting a certain jade inlaid bookcase from a certain questline in Pandaria. And I'm assuming that this would be an example of one of their retroactive rewards, like achievements. Some of you have been playing for 20 years, and we want that time to feel worthwhile. Your past adventures and time spent in Azeroth means your collection will have a leg up, and you won't start from square one when you first purchase a house. And that's awesome, isn't it? It's another way that players will have a great collection of stuff on the first day of housing, while also potentially having loads of past quests and content that players will be encouraged to go back and do if they haven't. But it does raise an important question as well, which I don't think is answered in this post. I just mentioned how commodities are individual items. You need to buy 4 chairs to place 4 chairs in a house, blah de blah. Well, how does that work for quest rewards? I mean, you're not going to go back and do that quest again every time you need another jade bookcase, are you? So what? Is it basically a unique item that you'll only be able to place in one position at a time? Or will that same bookcase be the reward from like 15 different quests around Pandaria, which means you'll have lots of them if you want, but still a finite amount that cannot be increased beyond a certain point? Or will the quest NPC become a vendor of the item once you hand the quest in and get the reward the first time? That seems the most likely, and again, is going to result in individual vendors all over the world with this stuff, which might mean you having to check Wowhead literally every time you need to remember where a certain item you want to buy actually comes from. But overall, I think this is terrific and basically exactly as it should be. Old assets being repurposed, creating destinations for players to visit.
Okay, so he wasn't annoyed by the thing that I was annoyed by.
Very good. Lots of those commodity items are going to be from crafting too. We'll get onto that in a minute. Tier 2 of decor that Blizz describe is investment decor. This is the stuff that they call more niche items. The example they give is a fountain with particle effects or a magical book flying about the place. A bit more gold or time investment. From a crafting point of view, this might mean that they need harder to get materials to craft, maybe a more niche reputation than, you know, Stormwind, maybe a zone or Loremaster meta achievement, and maybe we are now into the world of loot drops. Blizz give a visual example in their post of an Argusian crate dropping from the final boss of the Seat of the Triumvirate dungeon. Just there, on her loot table with the armor and rings. And yeah, okay, so I'm not sure if the Argusian crate would really fit the description of an investment item. It's incredibly basic, has no particle effects or animation, but also, how is that going to work with the finite placement? Do I have to go and kill this boss every time I need another Argusian crate? Because I will, Blizz. I will kill the shit out of Lura. I bloody love that crate. Later in the post, Blizzard answer by saying they kind of don't know exactly how this is going to work yet. They say that they definitely don't want this to be like the equivalent of mount or transmog farming, where you chain run legacy content weekly in the hope of finally getting the drop this time. So perhaps these will be guaranteed or near guaranteed drops. The post mentions the possibility of only having items available when the bosses are in time walking, which sounds like it could maybe be a terrible idea. But then using the Seat of the Triumvirate as their example would be an interesting choice in that case, because housing is going to launch during Season 3 of The War Within, and most people expect Seat of the Triumvirate to be a returning legacy dungeon in Season 3. At the very least, Legion Remix is going to pop up not long after housing. Put that one in the waiting for more clarification category. But in theory, I like it. As we've said, having a reason to go back to old content is good. The third tier of decor is what Blizz call trophies, which kind of speaks for itself. This is your Onyxia head on the wall, maybe an artifact or certain transmog that you can display. And these are the decorations that require, quote, skillful play, cooperation with other players, or long-term achievements. The Onyxia head specifically is tied to the More Dots achievement, which I don't actually have. Hang on. Okay, I just got my More Dots achievement, and I'd be lying if I said it involved skillful play, cooperation with other players, or long-term achievements. I just went in, it took a couple of minutes, I've got the achievement now, the Onyxia head is mine. They mention Mythic Plus or Raid rewards, which I'm thinking are likely to be glory achievements. Maybe you could get Gallywix's top hat to display after defeating Mythic Undermine, but it's not hard to imagine actual trophies being on offer here too, say for Mythic Plus or PvP seasonal achievements. Imagine a literal trophy cabinet displaying your Keystone Legend or Gladiator awards. And Blizz have said that all of these things are an ongoing project. Whatever is available at launch is not the full picture. More will be added, even from legacy content in future patches. So if you're...
I don't know about the trophy thing, because they tried to do that with garrisons, and it was like kind of really lame. Like nobody cared.
Favorite Suramar bench, that sounds really cool and fun, although maybe very annoying too. I'm gonna go back and do that quest every time I need another item. Maybe you could get Gallywix's top hat to display after defeating Mythic Undermine, but it's not hard to imagine actual trophies being on offer here too, say for Mythic Plus or PvP seasonal achievements. Imagine a literal trophy cabinet displaying your Keystone Legend or Gladiator awards. And Blizz have said that all of these things are an ongoing project. Whatever is available at launch is not the full picture. More will be added, even from legacy content in future patches. So if your favorite Suramar bench isn't available as a player housing item at launch, it likely will be eventually. And that goes for all of these mechanics of acquisition, including crafting. And now it's time to talk about crafting in professions, because it is simultaneously everything we hoped it would be, albeit with one big disappointment. Oh, first this.
Hey crew.
So they're definitely gonna be like, I love crafting stuff for my house, but why is it there not a new one? Wah! Like that's what they're, because they've been talking about wanting to have a crafting profession like Final Fantasy XIV has, like every time they bring this up, or at least that's what Taliesin is talking about.
Taliesin never tell.
Okay, so the very, very good news is that all professions will be able to get involved in player housing decor, and all professions will be able to craft items from across every expansion, which is exactly what we needed to hear. An example they give is the Brill Coffin, which is an inscription craft. So to craft this coffin, players are going to need the recipe, which likely will only be available from Tirisfal Glades or the surrounding zones, either as a drop or purchased from a trainer. They are going to need the appropriate level on their classic inscription profession, which, oh shit, some of you have some expansion-specific profession leveling in your future. To craft Pandaria items, you're going to need to level the Pandaria version of the skill, etc. Oh, and by the way, this being the case, someone is now finally going to have to go back and sort out the Warlords of Draenor professions, okay? Because there is some disgusting time gating in that shit, which is not okay in modern WoW. You're going to need to gather reagents from that expansion too. For the coffin, you're going to need sorrow moss and iron bars, but also each legacy craft will need a new decor-specific ingredient. In this case, ironwood lumber. More on that in a minute. And this is great. I love this so much, and it is exactly what I hoped it would be. Getting players to go out into the old world and past expansions.
Rex? I hope you're doing
materials,
well.
either to craft a bunch of cool stuff and put it on the auction house, or more likely, I'd imagine, to commission a crafter to make it for you through work orders. This is player housing facilitating and boosting professions in the exact way only player housing could. Imagine how happy you're going to be wandering around Grizzly Hills, getting the deer hides you need for your amber pine wall hanging. Imagine the bliss you're going to feel herbing in Pandaria to make your cool little potted bonsai plant thing. It's easy to imagine how most stuff, like the coffin, will be relatively straightforward to make, as we can see. But I bet you there's investment pieces that have relatively very difficult mats to get, like maybe stuff from raids. And this is exactly what I was hoping for when it came.
Watching in bed, your cat came over for a hug. Oh, your stinky baby. Yeah. I realized how warm it was outside today, and I opened up the window so that it's just a bug screen for the kitties, and my boy cat is just curled up in the sunbeam, loving it.
To professions and housing. This is, like the placement options last video, a best case scenario in my opinion. However, one hope that appears to have been dashed though, which I think people will be very disappointed by, decor will be crafted by all existing non-gathering primary professions instead of creating a new profession solely dedicated to it. This has been read by many people to mean that there will be no new profession introduced for housing. I know loads of people were hoping for a carpenter or woodworker type thing, or a lumberjack gathering profession, because calmly chopping down trees in Grizzly Hills at sunset is literally heaven. That's literally how I wish to spend my life, please. And while the wording of this section doesn't rule out a new profession by any means, you kind of feel like this is where they would have mentioned it if they were planning a new profession. So yeah, looks like Inscription will be taking on a lot of carpentry work, doesn't it? If this is true, I think it's a big missed opportunity. And although I am very happy for the promise that all professions will be able to take part in decor, this is the bit that I am disappointed with. Although
you know what? It makes sense that will be the thing that he's disappointed with, and not the limited inventory system like I am, because he's been going on about this shit since they first announced housing. He's like, "Oh, we could be a lumberjack or a carpenter or a painter," and I was just like, I guess. I'm not super bad about it, but.
Remember those new decor-specific reagents that you'll need along with old ingredients to make the legacy crafts? The Brill Coffin asks for ironwood lumber, and that definitely does sound like something a lumberjacking or woodworking profession would be required to gather, doesn't it? Maybe the dream is still alive after all. Am I doing full-on copium right now? There are just a couple of miscellaneous points and clarifications at the end of this post, including the idea of neighborhood-specific activities being part of whatever player housing progression looks like. My personal hope is still that this is the unlocking and building of public spaces in player neighborhoods. The idea of everyone coming together to build like a tavern, which the residents of the neighborhood can then hang out in, and which would become the de facto guild hall in private guild neighborhoods, is just too tantalizing to resist. I'm hoping that may be the next post's topic, along with general exteriors info. And I know we already covered the finite nature of housing items earlier, but the wording of this bit. If you have 4 fountains and place 3 of them on the lawn of your alliance house, your horde house will have only 1 available to place. This makes it sound like you will in fact be limited to 1 horde house and 1 alliance house per warband, as opposed to say 1 individual house in its own neighborhood per character on your account. This is something that the burgeoning WoW player housing community have been discussing at length, and I've always said that I thought, no, each character would be able to have a home of their own, and this could just be misleadingly worded, but I've kind of changed my mind now. I'm thinking it will indeed be just 1 house per faction. Another thing we're gonna have to wait tentatively to get an answer on. But my overall conclusion here is that I am relieved and excited because Decor Collection is doing everything I hoped it should do. Having a wide range of stuff accessible to everyone instantly, but beyond that, sending players out into the world, into old content, collecting old reagents and achievements, allowing players to breathe new life into all that old content is just brilliant. And honestly, so far Blizz is hitting every single button when it comes to player housing. I like it more with everything I learn about it, and I know that we're all still waiting to see how Blizz completely dick this up, but it appears that that won't be through decor and professions, at least. But what do you think? Does this part of housing land where you were hoping, or have your dreams been dashed completely? Let us know in the comments below. And thanks for joining us today for this video that is way longer than I thought it was going to be. If you liked it, don't thank us. Thank our patrons who give their...
Yay! Patrons! I wish I had patrons. Okay. Now this one, the off-meta class.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. Every single season in World of Warcraft brings in a brand new meta of classes, which is a list of classes that are part of some of the strongest options available, offering the best of the best kits for dungeons, raiding, or PvP. And every single season, that meta tends to change regularly. But over seasons and expansions, we notice that certain classes do show up a lot more often within the flavor of the month category, a lot more than others which are kind of left by the wayside. However, Season 2 content of The War Within really flipped the meta on its head, with no augmentation being involved as part of the overall top-end performing content, but also massive class buffs all across the board, very strong tier sets for the season, brings in so much variety within this season specifically. Whether you look at your raid or go for M+ content, it is literally one of the best seasons when it comes to the class variety and just about everybody having like a really viable and a playable option, especially if you're looking to push beyond your limits. And with so many opportunities right now to catch up some brand new characters and try a bunch of different playstyles with a huge leveling buff that is available in Season 2 11.15, I thought it'd be a good idea to spotlight some of those black sheep of the community that are usually caught in that off-meta list, that are usually not really viable, except for this season. Classes that are historically not that strong, but are actually performing incredibly well right now in Season 2.
Okay.
In case you're looking for some fun variety of different alts to pick up and test out some of the playstyles that are usually not really all that well represented. But as always, if you guys want to see more regular updates for War Within, patch 11.15, or even future updates, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in.
Before we dive right in.
So one of the easiest classes to put on this list will be the Feral Druid. Historically, Ferals specifically haven't been amazing for PvE content. They haven't necessarily been like downright bad and awful, but they have a history of being the black sheep of most melee DPS for a very long time. No matter the expansion, no matter the season, and while they do have pockets where they shine, they're generally not seen as good by large amounts of player community. They don't have like things like Cloak of Shadows and immunities like that of a rogue. They don't really have some mass giga AoE like what a Windwalker can bring. They also could just play Boomkit instead of Feral because that is just literally safer. You have relatively similar kit, especially with raid compositions, but Ferals right now are actually looking very strong. They in particular have a really good season tier set. The Season 2 set with the bleed damage, bite damage, and primal rat damage that stacks over time, as well as that apex spiritual consumption damage that does big winter damage and also increases the damage of periodic effects on the target. It is so good right now, and I'm a huge fan of it. It plays really well into the Feral bleed and bite playstyle, offering additional oomph in damage, but also greatly powering up your bleeds. It is a really, I feel like, undersold option by many players that do honestly miss out on just how good that thing is. And right now with the current playstyle, especially with Mythic Plus or even in raids, I would say the bleeds and bites playstyle is now balanced to the fact where everything feels pretty satisfying. The raw dot damage can feel really good. The bites and the procs that you get out of it can be very fast paced.
Yeah, alright, this video isn't really what I wanted it. Like the play a Feral Druid. It's good now. That didn't tell me anything particularly exciting. Wow. Okay, I turned the game audio back up a little bit here. Oh. Hiccups. Are you gonna lay down or not? What are you doing, sweetie? Oh, wait, there's the Children's Week update. Wait, what is this? What does it say here?
Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Children's Week, and more specifically we're going to talk about everything new in Children's Week 2025. This year brings quite a few new things to Kaz Algar and a different reward structure as well. But before we jump into all of that, guys, I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone over on the Patreon. Just started posting over there fairly regularly, and I really appreciate all the support that you guys have given me so far. So if you want to join us on Patreon, you can check out the link in the description. All right, so yes, Children's Week is back. This year's Children's Week runs from April 28th to May 5th. So the updates to this year's Children's Week was originally announced on the 2025 roadmap, and now that it's here, we can finally talk talk about what's new. So,
Go do
firstly,
that.
there is a brand new quest line in Dornagal, started with Ulna right here on the map. This quest is a standard Children's Week adventure, taking you orphans all around Kaz Algar and Undermine, showing them all the wonders of this new area.
children to
At the end of the quest line,
Undermine?
you do get a choice of rewards, and one of these choices is a new currency called a well-loved figurine. So, this is a
Oh.
new currency which has come in 2025, and this is used to purchase Children's Week rewards. So this is a warbound item which does now come from all of the previous Children's Week quests and can be obtained on alts. So if you're going to do the quest over and over, you can continually get this currency. Unfortunately, it does go in your bag, though, not on the currency tab for some unknown reason. But this currency is used to purchase all of those previous rewards from Children's Week and the brand new rewards as well. There are 3 new vendors which have been added which do sell these rewards. You have Brundia Braidhammer in Stormwind over in the orphanage area. You have Layla Knitted-Torn in Ogrimmar just outside the orphanage as well.
All right, I'm getting distracted. I shouldn't be doing a tier 10 while listening to this video. Okay, so Children's Week is out. I need to go do it. That's what I'm learning from this. Okay. Cool. Go do the...
Look for the bubbles and get some air.
Where's my air gauge? Huh. What's your breath? Oh. I'm cursed. I'm cursed to be unable to swim. Where's my oxygen bar? This is... Right, you guy. Come here. No scavenging for you.
Smell that? It's treasure. I know
Be
it.
gone, idiot. Oh, he can swim. Allowed to swim. Ran, where the fuck did you just go? Oh.
Oh, don't
They're
go
allowed to
dying.
do that? God.
I know you can do better than that.
Ran, I'm going to drown you. Shut your stupid face. Eat my greasy pizza. Right, you fishy bastard. Yeah, no. I interrupted that. That's bullshit. I interrupted that game. I interrupted it. That's some bullhorn. Get out of here.
Look for the bubbles and get some
Uh-oh.
air.
Where'd that guy come from? Talk to you guys? I do. Get out of here. Oh. Son of a bitch. They're all fake? What I get for trying to be the good guy. What I get for trying to be the good guy. They lured me here with an illusion of myself. Well, don't be so self-absorbed. Oh, they have a fake version of me? Well, that's unacceptable. Easy squeezy parcheesy. Ah.
Found a bit of gold.
Whoop. Big guy. Oh, back up.
Look for the bubbles and get some air.
I'm going, I'm going. Ugh. Back up. You stay back there while I blow your ass up. Ow, 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 ow. Probably cool, probably cool. Oh. I wanna pull the shark. Oh, I think we're okay.
Look around. There's treasure here.
Oh boy. Here, use over here. Thank you, thank you. No. Good fish. One fish, two fish, red fish, dead fish.
You're looking up there, bro. Take a wee rest.
What do you mean I'm looking rough? From what? Oh, flashing red. Man, that shit stacks? Crazy. Get out of my bubble. Alright, now I eat. We got a Nightfall lore breakdown from Novel. That. Yeah. 12 minutes, not too long.
Adventurer, Anthrax loyalists seek vengeance. Join the Flames' radiance in defending Hallowfall.
Hi, Richard Horvitz.
Upon entering Azeroth in patch 11.1.5, Milton Wildbrown sends out a call to any and all able and willing to fight with the Flames Radiance and hold back the Sureki forces. Turns out that the battle of the light-wielding Arafi against the Nerubians is far from over, but their forces are spread a lot more thin now that they've reconnected to the Irvin to the surface up above. So it is that they've called in the decree of Flames Radiance.
Oh my god.
Flames Radiance dates
Only
back
got
to an
two.
old legend from back home for the Arafi. They say that when our glorious Empress marched her armies off the war, she left the people of the Empire unguarded. Enemies within our borders began to rise because of it. But it wasn't the military or the Empire that saved us in the end. It was the war veterans, the retired soldiers, those who took up their extinguished torches, donned their battered armor, and rallied the villagers, farmers, and craftsmen. It was the people who held back the darkness until the light of the Empire returns. Upon return, they say the Empress knighted those responsible for rallying the citizens of the Empire.
What's attacking us?
She decreed the Flames Radiance a sacred oath that all Arafi should adhere to. Should the light of the Empire fade,
Combat.
burn out, or vanish, it's the people's duty to rally each other. By the radiance of the sacred flame, they will extinguish the darkness.
Are we in combat?
My mind shoots to playing Warcraft 3 and rallying the peasants to defend your town, and it gives a few more puzzle pieces on what life amongst the Arafi Empire would be. Currently, they follow the visions of their great emperor, the man with the magical bloodline who uses its prophetic visions to guide fate, which is what landed him here in Hollowfall to begin with. But it turns out that they've also had an empress. And just like how the cultists rose up within the ranks of the Arafi in Hollowfall, so too did the Empire have enemies from within. They are our allies now, but is that going to stand if the Emperor tells them to turn against us? Some already prepare for the possibility of war, while many simply want to return home. And who can blame?
Okay, so there's warring factions within the Arathi faction beyond just the cultists that we've been fighting. Is that correct?
Would be. Currently, they follow the visions of their great emperor, the man with the magical bloodline who uses its prophetic visions to guide fate.
Oh, there's a book. We'll see the sacred flame called the boy. Yeah, I read that.
Which is what landed him here in Hollowfall to begin with. But it turns out that they've also had an empress. And just like how the cultists rose up within the ranks of the Arafi in Hollowfall, so too did the Empire have enemies from within. They are our allies now, but is that going to stand if the Emperor tells them to turn against us? Some already prepare for the possibility of war, while many simply want to return home. And who can blame them after being stuck here for so very long? Then our foes, the darkness that we fight against, these Arachnids, remnants of Anthrax loyalists, still willing to put up a fight. The start of the war within, it saw the Nerubians closely allied to Zalata, who was whispering to the Queen Anthrax, pushing her to betray her own mother and embrace the next evolution for their race. through the use of the black blood, the blood of the old gods. But not everyone was down with this new path, giving us an allegiance with the Weaver, the General, and the Vizier, allowing us to learn more about Nerubian culture.
Okay, I'm not confident anymore.
Betrayal and her life within Nerubar's palace. Find the corrupted former queen and even stop Zolotov from empowering herself further with the Black Bloods. But the question is, then what? That's where we left Ashkahet behind, and the story has been somewhat frozen in time. There were some additional quests unlocked after getting more reputation. Quests which had us join the General and overthrow his replacements at the cost of his own life. But gameplay-wise, we've still been going in weekly to earn a reputation, without seeing any major developments within Nerubian society. They seemingly have always been ruled by royalty, by a queen, and now that strand has been severed. Has the Weaver and the Vizier taken over the role of leadership? Is that acceptable for the Nerubians, or are they busy trying to reinstate the former corrupted queen? Is there perhaps an X somewhere with a future queen that could take up? There is a speculative potential of finding an old severed strand with knowledge and skills of Nerubian royalty of the past, but again, that hasn't played out at all. Ashkahet has been somewhat frozen in time as we dealt with the Siren Isle and the events within Undermine. Now they're back into the story, with seemingly enough forces still loyal to their fallen queen to put up a real fight for the Arafi. Are they even aware that the queen has been slain, or are they following the last whispers left behind? It's hard to say. All we can say for certain is that the Arafi need our help, as we're asked to join them during the Nightfall attacks. If and when they get this scenario working, enemies are going to be slain within Hollowfall under the light or dark radiance of Beladar.
Hold the line! Keep your strikes decisive and your aim true! May the flame guide you!
At the top of the screen, we can see a familiar reward bar, which fills up from green to blue to epic, depending on how many activities you manage to do. Little reward sacks, while after fighting for long enough, the Sureki champion appears. We slay them, we save the day, and the major Nightfall event is complete.
Victory for the flame's radiance! Take a moment.
Get out of here, you. I guess if I wanted to, I could just ignore the ones that are obviously fake.
Soon enough.
Next to that, there are also daily quests, either Radiant Incursions, offensively going after the Sureki, or Sureki Incursions, which has us defend against them. The incursions themselves are a variation of click and kill, and it does confirm that we're still communicating and working together with our Nerubian allies, as they provide us with intel on Sureki movements. Sometimes they're busy gathering toxins, sometimes they're simply on the assault. Sometimes the Arafi need us to test their super duper powerful elixirs, which increases our might massively. It's
which I could have
from
as
the way
the
that the
super
Arafi
duper
have been living
drugs.
so far, being pulled into Ashkahet, taking on Nerubians on their home turf, used to be a death sentence. Many soldiers and landliners have been lost in the graveyard that they call Arafi.
Never mind.
But times have certainly changed, and now we're able to hold our own. Then some of the characters that show up are kind of interesting. We have, for example, Auralia Steelstrike, daughter of General Steelstrike. Her mother is doing what she always does, leaping into the fray. After convincing her to declare Flame's Radiance, the General entrusted Metaldar's defenses to her daughter, while she herself organized a regiment to secure their townsteads to the north. The Sureki have been spotted in large numbers all around Hollowfall, and we cannot allow a single corner of their home to remain undefended. Lamplighter Kirter and the Irvin, now Lamplighter Life, are also still hanging out together. We saw them meet up during a side quest up above.
Okay, that was the side quest and the one with the one earthen like the city guard. He's like, "Oh, human friend," and then the human's like, yes. Illusions of me, we gotta go deeper. Oh. Hi, me. Me. That's funny. Baby. You. Get out of here.
of, where the Irvin was very intrigued in the Arafi's faith. Their faith, their tenets, reminded him somewhat of the Irvin's edicts, but further, it was not a requirement, it was a choice, choosing to live their life and helping others, following the will of the sacred flame, even when darkness was spreading and his former friend turned out to be a cultist. It took a little bit, but Peacekeeper Life was able to earn his trust again and even join the ranks of the Arafi. We also got Prioress Etna Blaze. She was the one who guided us into helping Sebastian mourn his brother, and eventually uncovered that Prioress Hilsi Murprey has been taking the bodies of the fallen Arafi and resurrect them in the light, within the priory of the Sacred Flame. That's the reason why we went into the dungeon, and now Etna stands with the flame's radiance, and lets us know that after Murprey and her loyalists were extinguished from the priory, those who remained sought to rekindle their flame with Hollowfall. Many devout looked to me to fulfill the duties of Prioress. I was never interested in such a role. I am but a humble servant to the Sacred Flame, but my brothers and sisters needed someone to remake what was lost during that dark time. For now, I am who they need me to be. With the Flame's radiance decreed, the Priory has offered its full strength to the cause. Whether by blade or by faith, we are here to fight. And then there is Meredith Leckie, who played a big part in Farron Lofar's short story called Little Spark. This one is published in the Voices Within short story collection. And in short, the story comes down to a time in which Farron wasn't even part of the Lamplighters yet. The Nerubians are still a massive threat. This is the time that I was talking about, where even considering going into the Nerubian lands would be a suicide mission. During one of the attacks, some of the people are taken away, including Raiten. Despite Raiten already calling for the retreat and Farron not listening, they have been taken, but not confirmed to be dead quite yet. So Farron goes after them, with Meredith joining in. At first, Meredith is very much all about the rules and deadly afraid of the dark, but we shine brightest when we're together. Her adventures with Farron reignites the holy flame within, and while Raiten Blackholmes isn't found, that's...
Alright, this is a little more talky than I was. Not to say that it was like I wasn't expecting there to be a lot of lore discussion. He's kind of just reading the books that were around on the ground. I'd rather honestly read those books than hear someone kind of break it down like that. Not that I think there's anything wrong with his channel, but when I listen to channels that are like lore channels, I want it to be stuff that's not like super easy to find, just like on the ground.
Look for the bubbles and get some air.
Oop. Yeah, here. Else? No, I think that's up right now that I see. No, that seems to be it. Okay. Ooh, okay. God, there's a lot of just little guys coming at me here. Holy schmoly. I gotta send this Children's Week video to Frex.
Look for the bubbles and get some air.
I got air, I got air. Oh god. I did this a little too soon, I think. Take them all out. Take them all out. Hold on, Pebbles. No, Pebbles. Back up. Oof, okay. Okay, now let's try to find Rex here real quick. Do 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 do. There you go.
Fantastic. Look for the bubbles and get some air. Here's your deck of the spoils.
Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Oh. Did my internet cut out there? I'm gonna take a peek over here at Twitch and see if it did. Mirror Master, shouldn't you be fighting the Flash? We're still connected.
Look for the bubbles and get some air.
I got Brand.
Do you fucking mind? I'm running through a
Hi, Gravy.
big ass magnet. Yeah! Woo! Fuck your internet funny money, you dumb bastard!
Dumb bastard!
Yeah! Fuck your monkeys! Fuck your lions! Fuck them all! And fuck you, Elon Musk! Woo!
You're doing well. Oh, god damn it.
Look
God damn it. Ugh. Get out of here. Drowned illusions. Drown you. Ugh. Whew. Okay, there we go. Hi, Gravy. I hope things are good for you.
Stand back while I clear
Oof. Oh wait, is that all? Wait. Did we do everything? Delves. No, I gotta do at least one more tier 10 to bump this up. Yeah. How am I? I'm well. I opened up all the windows in my apartment today because it shot up like 10 degrees from yesterday. It's gonna go back down, so it's gonna be above 20 degrees for the next couple of days. Then it's gonna cool off again down to 13. Then we're gonna have a warm Friday and then back down again. So I figured I might as well air the apartment out, get some nice warm air through the house. Enjoy some sun. How was about you? Ultimate Deluxe Noggin Fogger. Everything that was in here? I think so. Treasure. Got some avoidance on there. That's nice. Treasure.
That's more like
Went for a walk, made some iced coffee. You're gonna go do a study of a Sargent painting. Ooh. Was it good walk weather? You want to go out for a walk, get them good brain chemicals, get the sun right on your brain. I'll fall at 5. It's been going on. Oh, we can do another one. Wait, I can just take the teleporter. I don't have to fly back up there. Up and away! Mid-70s are pretty good. Nice.
The Gobs dare to attack our veneration grounds. Make them regret it.
Wow.
a mighty adversary has taken the field. Get in there, soldier.
Where are they? I've been lied to. I've been deceived. Deception! Deceivers! Did you do your civic duty? I did my civic duty in the second day of early voting, so Saturday? Saturday. But not this past Saturday, the Saturday before this. Yeah. I don't know if we're doing this right, but next reward blank. Overall mission progress 100%. 1 minute. All right, I guess I'll stand here for 1 minute. Hurry up, boss. Come out here and fight me. $15, $14, $13, $12, $11, $10, $9, $8, $7, $6. I'm sure something really good is gonna happen. 4, 3, 2, 1.
The cowardly crawlers are retreating. Rally to me, and we will finish this fight.
Yay. I gotta go do my children's weekend.
We are the Flames Radiance, defenders of Merodor, and today we.
Yay! I cheered. What did that give me? Attacking and casting speed increased. Let's frickin' go! Come here, you.
Hold the line. Keep your strikes decisive.
There's the big boy! Get his ass!
Guide you.
It's like the 4th one I fought today. Doesn't seem like they fixed it. Except my UI doesn't show everything. Slobber volley. Ugh. Oh, this guy's just very stinky. Oh, he's just very stinky. There's like 3 tanks that are all taunting him, fighting for aggro. Alright, adjust myself. Ow. Oh my god, he's got so much health. So much friggin' health. The guy has like multiple billions of health. Oh, 10 scenarios. I didn't do 10 already, did I? Holy shit. Damn.
The sacred flame blesses us with victory. But stay vigilant. The enemy will return to throw themselves upon
Did I not get the... What's this? Artisan skinning knife, skinning tool, blacksmithing. Ah, can I send that to my blacksmith? I think so. I think. Ah, can I send that to my blacksmith?